Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now today I want to talk about Transformers and to talk a little bit about, I suppose, just how brilliant they are and how brilliant they were for me when I was a child. Now in particular there's this guy here. Now you'd probably recognise him as Hot Rod, and Hot Rod actually first appeared in the Transformers movie. Now the Transformers movie was something which I had no idea had come out. I didn't know that it had a release. I didn't know it was on video until I saw it in a bargain bin. I was maybe just approaching 10 years old. We're walking down the high street, going to this video store, and there in the bucket, in this basket where I was always allowed to sort of have a look because the videos weren't too expensive, was the Transformers movie in like a dark blue box with this sort of very impressive drawing on the front. And I thought, oh, there's a Transformers movie? Because obviously I'd only seen the Transformers in the Saturday morning cartoons, the old G1 cartoons, and as entertaining as they were always over too soon for me. I always wanted more. I always wanted to see more and not just have these sort of bite-sized stories, and sometimes slightly over the top stories as well. Well, very over the top stories. So I simply had to have this. So I ran over to Mum with the video. Can I please have it? Go on then, she says. Can't have been too expensive. And we went home and watched it. And after the prologue, where you sort of see the threat and you see the setup, the Autobots and the Decepticons and Unicron and all this kind of thing, you're on Earth. And on Earth, you are introduced to Hot Rod and also Daniel Witwicky. Now, Daniel and Hot Rod are best friends, and they're fishing. They see the shuttle is coming from Cybertron to land at Autobot City Earth, and that sequence where they race to get to the viewing platform is brilliant. And that was really what instantly hooked me into that film. It's a beautiful sequence, wonderful animation style. Really, my first introduction into that sort of, I suppose, anime style of animation, I guess, into that sort of high quality rendering of it. And then suddenly there's a siege, and the city is being besieged. The music is overtaking you. You're in for the ride. You're plugged in. And that was really my experience of the Transformers movie and also Hot Rod. And of course, that whole sort of ride was really facilitated by the music. It was full on 1980s music, full of sort of synth noises, full of that kind of, I suppose, period soundtrack. But this 1986 gem has just stuck with me ever since, and it's far superior to the Michael Bay movies. But of course, after I'd watched it, I wanted the toy. I needed the toy. So eventually I came across it. I got it. Can't quite remember why I got it. It might have been a birthday or Christmas. And I couldn't have been happier. Hot Rod was mine. Now, Hot Rod, not only is he a beautiful toy, but also he's got quite an elegant transformation cycle. I quite enjoy, even now, actually taking him apart and putting him back together again. So taking him from car to robot and robot to car again. And I remember we went for a little while to live with my cousin and aunt and uncle. It's quite a complicated reason, but we did. Now, my cousin was a bit of a kleptomaniac, and he unfortunately took to Hot Rod and some of my other toys and decided just to hoard them. And even while I knew that they were being stolen, I knew who was stealing them. Of course, my aunt and uncle didn't want to believe that their wonderful boy was responsible. So he never came to justice. And I thought I'd lost Hot Rod. Actually, this is 20 years ago. I thought he'd gone forever, and we never really saw that particular cousin actually again. It's kind of a long story, but we didn't. It's a bit of a shame, really. And then a couple of months ago, I got this phone call out of the blue, and what had happened was that a toy shop close to where they used to live had received a box with my name on the side, and in the box was a load of broken toys, clearly been played with too roughly, and Hot Rod, who was savable. So what they did was, or what the toy shop owner offered to do was to essentially sell me Hot Rod for postage price. That's it. And I got him back. He also, as well, because all the stickers were ratted up and kind of gnarly. The toy shop owner also gave me the URL to find replacement stickers for the toy. So Hot Rod was back in my possession, and even though he looks a bit scuffed up when I first got him back, pretty soon he was all shiny again, all pretty and new. So that's Hot Rod, and he's probably my favourite, if not one of my favourite childhood toys of all time. Charismatic, fun to play with, and also let's face it, it's a Hot Rod. Why wouldn't you want that? Now, unfortunately, I can't really go, or I don't really want to go too much into the Transformers movie because essentially copyright issues. If I show any footage, then this video is likely to get flagged. But I'd absolutely love, while we're here, to talk about this book, the Transformers Universe, Volume 1. Now, I actually happen to have both my copy and my brother's copy. I don't quite know how I've managed to do that, but this book is a beautiful book. It's an alphabetic exploration of different characters in the Transformers universe, and it goes from let's see, A would be Air Raid, and then you've got Astra Train, Beachcomber, so on and so forth. Soundwave is in there, Starscream, and it ends up with Wreck-Gar and also some other Junkion Transformers from the Transformers movie. And this is a brilliant book because it's not quite a concept art book. In fact, it's not a concept art book, but every illustration is beautifully rendered. It's done in that sort of comic book style with the colours being put together using a dot technology. So it's very much kind of like the Marvel Transformers comics, actually. But each and every one has a sort of a profile, their abilities, weaknesses, and also a wonderful quote as well, which outlines, I suppose, the outlook of that Transformer on the world. Now, one of my favourites, let's just see if I can quickly find him. Yeah, here you go. Cosmos, reach for the stars, but never leave your friends. But also as well, the other one, so Cliffjumper says, strike first, strike fast, strike hard. Bumblebee, the least likely can be the most dangerous, and I suppose that is Bumblebee's point in the cartoon, really, is to be this small but effective warrior. Let's see, Bruticus, the road to conquest is paved with Autobot Rex. Let's just quickly have a look at what Optimus Prime says. I'm pretty sure this is the quote which they put into the first Michael Bay Transformers movie, and he says, "Freedom is the right of all sentient beings," which is in that film. So they use some of these quotes, or have used them more recently. Laserbeak, the only point I like is in Autobots. Is the melting point. And finally, let's just go to Soundwave, because I quite like Soundwave as a character. Of course, everyone loves him, but with it, cries and screams are music to my ears, says Soundwave. Wow. So this book is a brilliant book, and if you ever get a chance to have a look at it or pick one up, definitely do. It sort of outlines dozens, if not more, around about 120 different Transformers and their abilities and their outlook on the world. And if you're into the Transformers, if you've got any of their annuals, which I do have, then this book is a really good companion to that. And frankly, it's just a really good read. I spent hours poring over my copy. In the front, as I seemed to do an awful lot when I was a child, I put my phone number, my address, and then my name, bang! And then on the following page it says, The Big Bang. So I spent literally hours poring over this book, and you can tell it's all kind of ruined on the corner, on the spine, and also it's a loved book. It's a well-loved book, and I love it to this day. So there you go, folks, a little bit about, I suppose, my perspective on the Transformers. I love the Transformers. They made a huge impact on my childhood. I've got other Transformer toys, but really Hot Rod is the standout favourite, and the fact that I got him back after 20 years, I just find to be astounding. So thank you so much to that toy shop owner. I never thought I'd see Hot Rod again. Wonderful. Anyway, as ever, do take care. Until next time, bye bye.